Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Let me start, of course, by welcoming all of you and this very distinctive group of young leaders from all over the world. And I would like definitely to acknowledge your
your
diverse
diverse executive specialization,
which I think
give
give
a very rich variety of common understanding. And I think that this kind of platforms, knowing and learning a lot of leadership skills. And I think it's a platform through which you start to build a very good network of friendship and relationships with other people in other countries, which I think in the near future to have this kind of international arena and will help achieve
peace in the world, which is now full of a lot of challenges and common differences. So really, I'm very glad to have the chance and the honor to receive you here in the cabinet office in the new administrative capital of Egypt. Of course, you are here from different countries who applied to the 5th batch of Nasser Fellowship under the theme, of course, Egypt and the UN, 80 years representing the Global South issues. I know that this fellowship has been, I think, in 2019 when it has started, and as an African, I think African Youth Fellowship under the Egypt's presidency in during the African Union, when Egypt was the president of the African Union. And now it has expanded to include a lot of continents, like in Asia, Australia, Latin America, and Europe as well, in addition, of course, to our African continent. So I can describe it now as a South-South cooperation rather than African when it has started. So I believe over the 5 years, the last 5 years, the fellowship has reached approximately 600 participants from 90 countries and about 34 local, continental, and international institutions and partnerships. So I think this is really, we are very proud that we managed to attract this huge number of participants, and also from different organizations and institutions. We are pleased that 162 young leaders have participated in this 5th batch from over 80 countries around the world under the patronage of His Excellency the President and, of course, the Republic of Egypt. Egypt has participated, of course, in founding the United Nations in 1945 and has since played a pivotal role in supporting the causes of the Global South. It has adopted a vision that combines its commitment to the principles of international justice with the pursuit of achieving independent development for itself and the people of the developing world. Egypt has also and has been always recognized the importance of the United Nations as international platform for defending the causes of developing countries. Despite the achievement made, developing countries still, of course, face significant challenges such as poverty, climate change, and economic inequality. The importance of strengthening the role of the UN in addressing these challenges by reforming the international structure to ensure more equitable representation for South countries in global decisions making, as well as strengthening sustainable financing mechanism to support development projects in developing countries, in addition to empowering youth as future leaders who carry a vision for growth and modernization. Egypt believes in multilateral cooperation and actively works with the United Nations to implement its sustainable development strategies. The state seeks to achieve inclusive and sustainable development through effective platforms that promote growth and development, human rights, security, and global and regional peace. In addition, Egypt is pushing forward efforts aimed at strengthening the partnership between the United Nations and the African Union in the fields of peacekeeping and peace building, especially with Egypt's huge participation in peacekeeping operations and Egypt hosting of the African Union Center for Post-Conflict Reconstruction and Development, and the Cairo International Center for Conflict Resolution, Peacekeeping and Peace Building. I would like to point out that we face here in the region a lot of challenges, unprecedented challenges. I think everybody now can witness what's taking place here in the region. I'm going to speak in the region, and this has caused a lot of implications on Egypt, specifically on its economy. So of course you can follow up what's taking place in the Red Sea and how it is severely and negatively affected the flow of course, traffic in the Suez Canal, which has resulted in losing more than 70% of the revenues from the Suez Canal because of this, and definitely it has affected negatively the global trade in the whole world. In addition to this, we can see what is happening in Gaza, in Sudan, in Libya, and the other countries where there is big difficulties in maintaining its stability and trying to play as Egypt a very important role as a mediator to really achieve a peace and ceasefire in these countries, which have been always our neighbor, and they, as these countries, have been always have a direct impact on the stability of our country. So you can imagine, due to this challenges and turbulence that the whole region has faced, Egypt now is hosting, as we sit together, more than 10 million refugees. 10 million. This, I would like to say that this number exceeds the population of countries. So you could believe that how Egypt generously managed to host them and provide them with the basic services and human needs, and we will be always doing this. This is embedded in the principle of this country and embedded in the culture of our people. Always the Egyptian is very well known as a hosting civilization, a hosting personalities, always welcome anybody who could be in problems and ask for help from the Egyptian. This is it's embedded in our culture and in our personalities. So definitely, despite all of this, Egypt has been working very hard in improving its economic situation. We, as a government, has adopted a very aggressive and bold measure for structural reform for our economy, to improve the investment climate here, to encourage more and more private sector participation, whether from foreign countries or from the local market. So we have been able to generate and create a lot of FDIs within the last recent years, and we are working very hard to make more and more Egypt more conducive for foreign direct investment in different fields. You can imagine a country now that it is growing almost every year by 2 million inhabitants, that require every year at least creation of 1 million new jobs. How it's going to be the challenges for any government to secure and really avail all of this for its citizens. Despite all of this, we have been able to achieve very good results in combating unemployment. The unemployment rate now has drastically decreased to 6.5%. You can imagine that in 2014 it was 13.5. So today is 6.5. And within this period, the population has grown with around 18 million new inhabitants. So it's a multiplier effect that you have to deal with a fast-growing population and at the same time lowering down the unemployment. But Egypt has been able to do this. And under the leadership of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, we have put a very clear vision for Egypt, which is Egypt 2030, through which we have been able to substantially improve our infrastructure, our housing sector, our logistic centers, social and economic services. Of course, we believe that the way is still ahead and we need a lot more and more for our citizens, because the challenges is really very complicated within a country that is suffering from all what is taking place in our neighborhoods, in our region, and also internally we have suffered from being confronted with two consecutive revolutions that substantially changed the whole setup within this country and affected also negatively, of course, the economic development in the country because of the instability and insecurity that has been going on for more than 10 years. But now situation is much better. We are working very hard, again, as I was telling you, to achieve very clear targets regarding our citizens, regarding our economy, and we believe that within this turbulent region, such kind of platforms and gathering potential young leaders will create, I think, the basis for more and more positive interaction and communication between you, knowing better. I'm here speaking that people who will be from Asia or Latin America or Europe, they will understand much better the situation in this region, the situation in Africa. So inshallah, when you will become future leader in your country, this can contribute to much better positive and proactive attitude towards our region and to our continent. This will help again to improve and strengthening the human relationship and ties between different continents and different countries. And you are, as a potential young leader, represents the hope for humankind. So such kind, again, of platforms is really very important. Personally, I can say, I don't want to say exactly since when, I have been attended such kind of platforms. I really benefited a lot, and it had changed substantially my way of thinking, my mindset. It has made me more uh, uh, integrative, adapt holistic approach on the way of thinking, knowing very well how the other will think and react. So it gives you more tolerance towards the other. So really it is very useful arenas for having this kind of very strong human ties and communication between the different countries and different potential leaders. Again, I don't want to take uh, a lot of time from you. I know you had a very busy schedule, but really it's a great honor and pleasure to have you here in Egypt. I believe since you had the opportunity to come here to the new administrative capital, to have a tour and good visits to hear all the sightseeing in this new area, and you could believe, I don't know whether you will be imagining or not, that 8 years ago it was complete desert. There was nothing here. Today, I think what you have seen here is a very clear evidence on how the Egyptians have been always and will continue to be great builders. This is our... Since the pyramids up to the new administrative capital, always the Egyptians have been concerned with development, construction, never thought about destruction or wars or fight. This is our embedded again in our personality as Egyptians. We always like peace, we always look for development, for construction, and we hate wars and struggles, whether with our neighbors or within our continent and even within the world. Again, you are more than welcome, and I hope that you enjoy your stay here in Egypt, and I hope my colleagues, the Minister of Youth and Sports, and will provide you with all comfortable accommodation and logistics so that you can have much better overview about the progress and development that is taking place here in Egypt, and looking forward to see you. And I would finally advise you, try to concentrate on building relationship, friendship between each other. Really, it will help you in the future. Thank you very much. I will leave the floor to my colleague here, the Minister of Youth and Sports, to if you have... So you can have the chance to